Liam is an average office worker whose life is borderline pathetic. He works hard and late at his company that works him to his bones. But thankfully, he has a family to return to. Thanks to them, he manages to do his job where his boss constantly insults him, and even his subordinates mock him openly. One day, Liam's college junior weeb texts him about a mecha action figure and urges him to buy it. Liam has also been a weeb his entire life, so he goes to the shop location sent by his junior only to find his wife on a date with another man. He is dumbfounded by this because his wife was supposed to take their daughter to sword class. That night, when he returns, Liam asks his wife and daughter about their day, and they tell him that there was a tournament at the sword class today and the daughter won all her matches. Liam decides to believe them and ignore the fact that he clearly saw his wife earlier today, but he still can't shake the thought away. So he goes to the same spot the next day as well. This time not only his wife but his daughter is also there, and she calls the strange man her father. Liam is completely shaken by that and can't concentrate on his work. And then his boss comes there to insult him for no reason. Just then he gets a call from his wife about their daughter being in an accident, and he immediately rushes to the hospital. The doctor tells them that their daughter needs blood, but Liam's blood type is not compatible with her. As his wife leaves to donate blood, Liam does some research on blood types and finds that his daughter's blood type doesn't match the chart. He is now sure that he is not the father, and once they return home, he confronts his wife about it. However, instead of admitting that she cheated on him, it tells him that it is all his fault. She says that he works all the time and doesn't have any time for his family. On top of that, he doesn't even have any money despite working so much. That tells Liam that he is not even really a part of their family, and she was the only one who raised her daughter all these years. She then declares that she is going to leave the house with her daughter, and Liam snaps on hearing this. He tries to stop the daughter, but even she tells him that she likes her other dad better. Liam is completely devastated by this, and the next day, as he goes to office, his boss shows him that a transaction of 50 million yen has been made from his computer. Liam says that he never made such a transfer, but then he remembers that he left his computer unlocked in a hurry when his daughter was in a hospital. However, no one in the office believes him, and they accuse him of stealing money from the company. Because of that, he is fired and his wife gets a reason to file for divorce. But that still demands child support. His company doesn't sue him, but forces him to pay all the money back in installments, and Liam has to work as a construction worker to keep paying child support in the installment. However, that doesn't go very well for him either, and he is continuously scolded by his boss. His life becomes a mess, and he enters depression because he has nothing to live for. Even his enthusiasm for action figures and mecha toys fade, but he still believes that everything will work out if he keeps working hard. He misses his daughter even though he knows she is not really his child and hopes to meet her someday. But then he finds that he is seriously ill. With no insurance and no money to get treatment, Liam decides to die in the silence and solitude of his apartment. He keeps waiting for death, and then suddenly a dazzling light appears above him. The light shows him visions of what happened in the past, and Liam finds that it was his boss who sent the money from his computer to frame him. Not only that, the man his wife was having an affair with was his boss, and he sent the money to the so that she could afford an expensive lifestyle. Liam is completely broken on realizing what was happening behind his back all this time, and he wishes that all of this is a dream. But then a voice tells him that it is the reality. Suddenly, a stylish man who calls himself the Guide emerges from the light and tells Liam that he has lived a really hard and pitiful life despite being a good man. He asks Liam if he can forgive the people who made him suffer like this, and Liam gets enraged, saying that he wants revenge against them. The Guide rejoices on seeing his negative emotions, calling them delicious. He then tells Liam that he took an interest in him because he is a good man, but Liam replies that he doesn't give two about being good anymore. He regrets that he got taken advantage of because of his kind nature and swears that if he gets another chance at life, he will live only for himself. He promises that he will even become a villain who tramples on everyone else, and the Guide tells him that he is just the thing for him. He takes out some pictures from a suitcase, telling Liam that he is here to send him to another world, and he can choose where he wants to go. The options include a world with magic and superpowers, the samurai-era Japan, the Wild West, and even the prehistoric times. Liam tries to process if this is real because things like this happen only in anime. However, when he spots a parallel world with giant robots and spaceships, he can't take his eyes off of it. He reaches his hand towards the option, thinking about all the fun discussions about anime he had with his junior. The Guide tells him that he made a good choice because this world has both advanced technology and magic. The aristocratic system is still followed in this world, which means nobles are in power. And the Guide tells Liam that he will be born as the son of a count who rules a planet. Liam likes the sound of that, and as he reaches the image of the giant robot, he signs a contract with the Guide who sends him off to the next world wishing that he lives a better life in that one. He gets reincarnated as Liam Bamfield, the only son of a count ruling planet Hydra that is run over by plants. On his 5th birthday, Liam's mother tells him that she has a special present for him. She takes him to the room where a giant cake is kept and asks him to open the gift. Liam finds that it is empty, but there is a remote controller inside it, and his mom tells him that his gift is a custom-made AI maid. She tells him to pick the features he wants for the maid using the remote controller, and Liam gets taken aback by the options he has. He asks his mom why does he even need an AI-made robot, and just then his dad enters the room. He tells Liam that he is going to need the AI maid because he is getting another special birthday present. Liam's dad then suddenly declares that he is gifting him the title of Count Banfield and everything that their family owns. Liam is taken back back by this. But his dad repeats that from today, he is the head of the family and he can run the planet any way he likes. However, his dad has a request in exchange for this gift. He explains that he and his wife are going to retire and live on the Imperial capital planet, and in exchange for ruling this planet, Liam has to send them a monthly allowance. Liam is all in for this deal because it gives him freedom, and his dad calls their butler Brian with a contract. Liam signs the contract and becomes the head of the house, and his parents immediately run away to the capital, telling him that the AI maid will look after him from now on. Liam still has trouble processing that he got power, wealth, and influence at 5 years old in this life, and he swears that this time he will become a villain who will suppress other people and have fun on his own terms. He thanks the guide for this, unaware that the guide never planned to help him. Back on Earth, the guide is with Liam's dead body, mocking his pathetic life. He then decides to have some fun with Liam's cheating wife and his boss, who are having dinner at a fancy restaurant. While the boss tries to act like he feels bad for putting Liam through the misfortunes, that doesn't even bother to pretend. While they are planning for their future, the guide uses his powers and brings the police there. The police officers arrest the boss for stealing money from his company and framing Liam, and the breaks down on realizing that the life she planned to have is out of her reach. The guide takes great pleasure in their suffering, and then he returns to Liam's side to guide his soul in the next world. The truth is that he has arranged for Liam to suffer even more in his next life. The guide knows that when he realizes that he was set up, Liam will direct all his negative emotions towards him, and he will consume those emotions to become even stronger. Not only that, the lifespans in the next world are incredibly long, and the guide hopes that Liam suffers for a long time and keeps providing him nutrition. On the other hand, Liam soon gets his AI-made robot with the highest spec components and all the features selected by him. He is really excited for the unboxing, and butler Brian tells him that he just needs to touch the box to open it. As Liam touches the packaging box, it suddenly vanishes and the AI maid comes to life. She introduces herself as a muggy, and Liam introduces himself too. Brian tells him that the maid robot needs just 2 hours of maintenance each week, but Liam is not listening to him. The little pervert drags Amagi to the playroom with him to check out all her features in detail, and once they return, he is really comfortable around her. Brian freaks out, thinking that his new master is a pervert, but Liam tells him to relax because he has the mind of a 36-year-old adult. Brian tells him that 36-year-olds are still considered children, and Amagi adds that the official age of adulthood in the Empire is 50. However, most people are not considered proper adults till they reach 100, and the average life expectancy is also around 500 years. Liam gets excited thinking about all the things he can do in his long life, but then Brian warns him not to be too close to Amagi. Liam asks him the reason for that, and the butler explains that the Empire hates AI more than anything because humanity was almost wiped out by AI once. Luckily, a group of brave people stopped AI from completely driving humanity to extinction, and those people founded the Empire, and now they hate AI in any form. Liam is curious about why his mother would give him an AI maid if she knew about this, and Brian tries to keep it a secret from him. However, Liam pulls the I am the captain now speech on him and orders him to reveal the truth. Brian nervously tells Liam that his parents abandoned him and ran away because their family is drowning in debt. Liam is shocked to hear this, and Brian explains that his great-grandfather was a great man, but his successors were terrible at ruling the planet. The butler then explains that most of their resources are in the control of the loan sharks, and even the economy of their planet is not good. Liam doesn't understand why his parents would dump all the responsibility of their declining territory on him, and Brian tells him that the only reason they gave birth to him was so that they could dump their responsibilities on him. Liam is pissed because he went through one life of being used and then discarded, and it seems like the same thing is going to happen again. He decides that it will not happen as long as he can do something about it, and tells Amagi that both of them are outcast for this society, so they should team up. He asks the maid to join him because together they can seize the power to do anything they want, but she refuses and kneels before him. She tells Liam that her only purpose in this world is to serve him, and he doesn't need to ask her to team up with him. She promises to serve him in any way possible, and Liam decides to give her the 3 laws of robotics to protect humanity. However, he instantly changes his mind because he is no longer going to be the good guy. He decides to be as selfish as he can and revises the 3 laws so that they only apply to him. The first law states that Amagi cannot harm her master directly or indirectly. The second law asks her to obey all his commands, and the third law asks her to protect herself as long as she doesn't need to violate the first 2 laws. On Siege, he has engraved the 3 laws into her system. Liam asks her what he should do to make his territory better and prosperous. She suggests he use an education capsule that will put knowledge and experience directly in his brain and also strengthen his body. She tells him that he will have to be in the education capsule for a few months, and during that time she can take care of his territory on his behalf. Brian panics on hearing this and tells Liam that letting an AI maid handle the entire territory is dangerous for humanity. Liam tells him that it is not dangerous because he does not want to destroy humanity, and according to the second law, Amagi will follow his instructions perfectly. The flustered Brian tells Liam that the Empire will not accept this, but Amagi checks the Constitution and replies that there is no law preventing AI from helping with governance duties. With that, Liam orders Brian to get an education capsule ready and gives all the authority in his absence to Amagi. Once he gets inside the education capsule, Liam asks Amagi if she can feel emotions or even mimic them because she is quite advanced for an AI maid. Amagi replies that she doesn't know if she is capable of feeling or mimicking emotions. But when Liam asked her to team up with him earlier, she found her cache suddenly overflowing with data. Liam realizes that Amagi can really feel some sort of emotions, and he asks her to take care of everything while he speed runs through his school and college education. Liam gets out of the education capsule after exactly 2 years with decades of information and experience stored in his brain. He is surprised to learn that he was in there for 2 years, and Amagi tells him that it is natural because he had no sense of time inside the education capsule. Liam then notices that his body has also grown bigger and stronger in 2 years thanks to the capsule, and Amagi tells him that he will need some rehab to get used to this growth. Once Liam is done with the rehab, he takes charge of his planet and receives a report from Amagi. He finds that the condition of the planet has been improving slowly and decides to take a closer look at their main facilities. Amagi takes him to the spaceship launch pad first, and Liam starts drooling as he sees spaceships take off and dock in their floating dock, which serves as their line of defense. He gets even more excited as he sees the giant battle robot the soldiers operate, but Amagi tells him that most of them are not in use because they don't have the budget to repair them. Liam says that he also wants to be inside the giant battle robot, and Amagi is happy to arrange that for him. Liam gets inside one battle robot, and then Amagi tells him that the movement of the robot is controlled through magic. She asks him to simply imagine how he wants to move the robot, and it will do just that. Liam gives it a try and finds that getting the battle robot to move is not really hard. However, Amagi tells him that she removed all weapons from the robot suit to ensure his safety. Liam says that he really wants to fight someone in the robot, and Amagi arranges for that by summoning the captain of their troops. Liam charges directly at the captain's battle robot and knocks him down, but he quickly realizes that the captain is not being serious with him. He yells at him to fight earnestly, and the man obeys his command. Liam charges at him again, but this time the captain disarms his robot and then slams it to the ground. Liam is surprised by the difference between them, and Amagi tells him that since the captain has more experience and training, he can visualize moving his robot much better than a total noob. This makes Liam realize that he is too weak, and he decides to train to become stronger. He orders Brian to find him the best martial arts instructor around, and the butler tells him that he is a ruler, so he doesn't need to learn to fight. Liam shuts down his advice because he was suppressed by powerful people in his previous life, and this time he wants to be more powerful than anyone else. Soon after that, a samurai named Yasushi arrives outside the castle to become Liam's teacher. Liam instantly starts fanboying after seeing Masashi Mihawk and thinks that he is a great martial artist. He says that he is really excited to learn from one of the best martial artists in this world, and Yasu starts sprouting philosophical about how he strives to make his martial arts style the best in the whole empire. But it is a process that never ends. Liam is even more smitten by him now, and when Amagi tries warning him that the swordsman looks shady, he overlooks her warning, saying that being a little shady is the proof that he is a great swordsman. He is certain that Yasu is solely focused on becoming strong, so he seems detached from the world, but Amagi tells him to at least test him out. Liam agrees and asks Yasu to show his skills, so he takes him to a nearby place where some wooden logs are standing upright. Yasu says that he is going to show him the secret technique of his martial arts style, but he can show it to him only once, and he must memorize it in that chance. Liam asks Amagi to record everything, and then Yasu takes his stance. He only draws his sword halfway out of the sheath and then quickly puts it back, but the very next moment, the logs are sliced in half and fall to the ground. Liam is shocked to see this, and he asks Amagi to analyze the recording and tell him how Yasu did it. The recording shows that he didn't even draw his sword, and Liam is dumbfounded as he thinks that Yasu was so fast that even Amagi could not record his actions properly. He eagerly asks Yasu to be his teacher, and he gladly accepts. However, he returns to the site later at night, laughing at Liam because he fell for his trick that used logs that were already cut in half. Unaware that he is getting scammed, Liam keeps training under Yasu in sword and spear arts. He keeps getting better at the basics over the years, but never gets close to learning the secret skill that he thinks Yasu possesses. One evening, after training hard for 3 years, Liam tries cutting a log of wood with an aerial slash, but obviously nothing happens. He wonders how can he learn the secret technique because he needs a finishing move befitting his strength. That night, as Yasu is busy reading manga in his room, Liam knocks on the door. Liam asks him to teach him the secret technique, but Yasu tells him that he can no longer study under him. Liam is shocked, and the poser swordsman reminds him that on their first meeting, he clearly told him that he was going to show him the secret technique only once. Liam panics on hearing this and begs Yasu to forgive him, promising that he won't bother him about it again, and Yasu pretends to forgive him. Once Liam leaves, he starts eating chips and mocks the boy for believing that a technique like that really exists. Just then, Liam opens the door again, saying that he wants to add a little more money to his monthly fees to properly apologize for his actions earlier. Yasu has no reason to decline more money, and he starts dancing and emoting because this is the easiest job he ever had. But then Liam appears again, saying that he wants a day off from his training because he has some urgent business tomorrow. The next day, Liam receives a report about his planet's economy from Amagi. She tells him that they are still under heavy debts, but they are recovering gradually, and Liam is glad to hear that. He praises Amagi, but she says that she doesn't deserve his praise because she has not been able to meet her expectations. She shows him that the progress is very slow in some sectors like education and human resources, resource development despite investing a large amount. As soon as Liam sees the details, he realizes what is wrong and immediately summons the person in charge of the department. Soon, an ugly, sweaty idiot comes there and Liam immediately gets to business. He asks the man why has he been stealing funds from the government? Because there is some proof that he has been diverting money to his own pockets. The man takes Liam for a naive kid and tries telling him that there are many unpredictable problems in his line of work and they need money to be solved. Liam begins inspecting him even closely and he almost admires the man's corruption, thinking that he may get some tips from him. However, just then Amagi shows him a news article about a scandal caused because of corruption. The man tells Liam that it was not him but his subordinate who caused the scandal and he was executed for it. Amagi studies more news articles and reports and finds that there was not enough evidence that the subordinate was behind the corruption, and even after his execution the money was not recovered. Liam suddenly remembers how he was framed by his boss in his past life, and he is sure that this sweaty idiot did the same thing. He gets enraged and directly confronts the man, asking if he framed and killed his subordinate. The jerk tries pretending that he didn't do anything, but as Liam walks towards him with his sword drawn, he says that he just did whatever was necessary to keep the economy running smoothly. However, when that doesn't seem to calm Liam down, the man tries to intimidate him, saying that he is enjoying this luxury because people like him work hard to run the country. Liam doesn't let him complete his sentence and sends him to the afterlife with one swing of his sword. He tells them that only he gets to misuse his power and oppress his people. He yells that no one is allowed to touch his people and his money, and he will kill anyone who tries to take what belongs to him. Liam then orders Amagi to conduct a thorough investigation and execute every corrupt official, but she asks him to calm down first. Liam suddenly realizes that he just killed someone.